listening to the Phenomenal Forum on WCWPSports.org and iTunes.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Phenomenal Forum. I'm Matt Weinstein, joined as always to my right, it's Andrew Servideo. To my left, Big Daddy Cool, Alex Demiras. Guys, Raw 25 in just 3 days.
Andrew's going to be in the audience.
In attendance.
Yeah,
Yes.
I will be there.
That's right. He's going to be there for 8 hours.
You got 2 extra tickets for your boys over here?
What's that?
You got 2 extra tickets for us?
Imagine. Dude, we should all win.
I feel like we should be, like they should send us to this show.
Forget that. I agree with you 100%, but this guy didn't even ask if we wanted to go.
That was messed up. He's going to be
I
at
did,
Raw
though.
25,
I did.
and then the Vikings are going to make it to the Super Bowl, and he's going to go to Minnesota probably. In a couple
I don't know
of
about
weeks,
that.
too.
Didn't ask if we wanted to.
And we're just here.
Unbelievable. Nonetheless, a lot to get into this week. We'll start it off. Braun Strowman doing Braun Strowman things on Monday night. Nobody was safe.
No, everyone was getting those hands.
He's
Everyone was about to get
And
those hands.
It started off Kurt Angle, quote-unquote, fires Braun Strowman, which at first I thought meant he'd be off TV for 2 weeks, then win the Royal Rumble. But instead, he just beat up everybody. So what are the things Roman Reigns doesn't like? People touching him. What else was it? Kurt Hawkins. He obviously doesn't like Kurt Hawkins. Semi-trucks. He does like chocolate cake. This was ridiculous.
small door frames.
Yeah, small door frames. He hates that. Everything he could have done, he was just wreaking havoc on Monday night. And again, we said it last week with the grappling hook and the scaffolding. This is just another example as to why Braun Strowman, without a championship, is okay. That's totally fine.
He flipped a $12 million TV truck. Can you believe it?
He was angry.
He was mad. What happened? What was the point of that? Firing him.
Well, I'll tell you what it was, because now Stephanie McMahon rehired him,
Stephanie
apparently.
called. Yeah.
So then I think, I'm way out of line here, but this might lead to somehow the Braun Strowman Triple H Mania.
Get out of here.
Because
Because Stephanie got involved.
Stephanie gets involved.
And the thing at Survivor Series,
Right.
too.
I remember the Survivor Series thing. But is that all right?
I think it'll all tie together.
Is that enough to fuel it for or something else has to
No,
happen?
but I don't think it's done. But I
Okay.
think we still got time till WrestleMania. Again, we don't have a calendar here. We never know
No, you're right.
what's good with
Maybe Triple
with
H.
dates and times,
Yeah.
but
Maybe Triple H gets involved in the match at the Rumble.
Involved in the triple threat match?
Yeah.
I could.
maybe.
We haven't seen besides last night
Besides last night on Jimmy Fallon.
And then we get like a
That's
corporate
right.
Kane. We can get a corporate Kane again.
Ugh.
And then what?
I don't
Brock,
want that.
Brock,
No.
Brock retains.
Yeah, I guess
I
so.
think Brock retains anyway. I don't think Triple H gets involved there. I think Triple H might get involved. I think Braun Strowman continues to just do what he's doing on Raw, and somebody obviously has to step up. Somebody's got to put him in line. Maybe that's Triple H. Maybe that's how we get there.
I think sooner or later, whether it's at the Rumble or at Mania, Braun Strowman's going to be Universal Champion.
All right.
Yeah.
I think it's time. I'm ready for the Strowman era of WWE Universal Champion.
But then that's almost like Brock with the title. Who's going to beat
Okay.
Braun Strowman?
Yeah. I suppose.
I think we're all sick of Lesnar being champion.
Maybe that's it. I'm fed
I don't
up.
care.
Yeah.
I don't care who's the Universal Champion. As long as the championship is on Raw every week, I see what it looks like, because I don't even remember what it looks like.
Yeah, we didn't see it this
Yeah.
past week.
As long as it's on TV, I don't care who it is.
Oh, he's going to be at Raw 25.
So is everybody. So if you stepped foot in WWE for a day, you're going to be on Raw 25.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean much.
It's pretty big.
Anyway, so we'll move it along. Roman Reigns, he beat Bo Dallas, Curtis Axel in a handicap match, just continuing the feud with The Miz. Next week, we'll get it at Raw 25, Intercontinental Championship match. First off, I'm a little upset that Elias is now kind of just being relegated to introing The Miz.
He's the opener.
He's right.
Yeah.
He's the opener. Hey, Elias is the main event. He's no opener. But either way, so Roman, overcomes the odds.
Oh, yeah.
We've seen him to be pretty good at that over the years. And what do you think about Miz Roman next week? Who do you think is coming out with the IC title?
We're going predictions right off the bat.
See,
Might as well.
Okay.
So here's my prediction. You know how Jason Jordan's been somewhat destroying the Shield internally?
Yeah.
There's like this big like thing
we've
going
seen
on. So now that the Shield is like pretty much done, I think Miz Siraj helps Miz. Now that we had the 2-on-1 handicap match, helps Miz win the Intercontinental title back, and I think that's how we get the title off Roman.
And that's how we get Roman in the Rumble.
Well, Roman will be in the Rumble anyway.
I mean, I guess so.
Don't
But
do this to me, man.
Do
I don't
we-
want him in
Why
the
wouldn't he
Rumble.
be in the Rumble?
because I'm not a huge fan of having the possibility of somebody that has a title competing in the Rumble only because they usually never win it.
But that's the point, though. We don't want Roman
Yeah.
to win it.
No. Whether you wanted to win or not, he'll be in the Rumble.
Yeah, he's
Why
gonna be
wouldn't
in
he
the
be?
Because Seth Rollins wasn't in the Rumble last year.
Well, that was because
Oh, don't give me the Stephanie
the whole
McMahon,
storyline.
Sami Zayn
We
thing.
had this conversation last week. No. If you're not WWE or Universal Champion, why wouldn't you want to be in the Royal Rumble?
I guess so.
No, he'll be there. And so next week we got Miz Roman. I agree. I think Miz wins it back next week.
I'd like
Becomes
to see
an
Miz
8-time Intercontinental Champion.
Obviously, I would like to see Miz win it back. It's his title.
It
He
is
made
his
it
title.
prestigious.
It really is.
He made it the most prestigious title on Raw. The only
Without a
singles
doubt.
title on Raw, besides the cruiserweights.
But that's a cruiserweight title, which Enzo's doing a pretty damn good job.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He really is.
and that match just got moved to the Rumble.
That match got moved to the Rumble. That's right. Enzo versus
You boy.
Cedric
Cedric,
Alexander.
You
Should
boy.
be interesting. Should be interesting. See what happens. Obviously, I'm a big Cedric guy. I want to see him with the title, but I don't think Enzo's getting rid of it anytime soon.
Yeah, I don't think
really
he has to either. I think he's doing a good job. With
Yeah,
it.
for
and now
sure.
that Nia Jax is going to be on like 205 Live this week, or I just saw her tweet something. She's going to 205 Live has some live events, and she's going to be at 205
right,
Live
okay.
like at these live events. So they're bringing in
Right.
that.
I'm
aspect
starting to
of it.
like this Enzo Nia Jax pairing.
It's got some potential.
Definitely.
They've been
Especially
teasing it a while.
especially because now like Nia Jax kind of told Alexa Bliss, she's like, after she got hurt, she's like, "Nah, Enzo's got this.
He's
Alexa,
got
you
this."
can go."
And now that sets up.
Some little dissent there. That's right.
If that sets up now for a Nia Jax Royal Rumble victory,
I think it's a possibility.
it's a possibility.
It is.
Definitely.
It really
Taking
is.
on her best friend at WrestleMania, that would be pretty cool.
So we'll get into, the next match was Nia Jax versus Asuka. This was a good match.
It really was.
And this is before this match, I really wasn't about Nia Jax. I didn't really care. She put on a good match, and she kind of turned me on to her a little bit, her wrestling ability. And then the injury angle, they worked me. It looked bad. I thought it was real for a minute, but
And you know what? You think it's real because you know how bad Nia Jax is, like, in the ring. And you're like, you know what?
Come on. Come on. She's not terrible.
He's not far off, but no, I agree with both of you guys to an extent. But I like them. It saves both of them. It saved Asuka. It saved Nia Jax. Nobody had to eat the pin.
Mm-hmm.
These are two forces in the women's division.
That's a perfect word to describe it. Nia Jax is definitely a force, and to have Asuka, who's like literally half her size, being able to counter all her moves, throw her in a bunch of different submission moves and stuff, even like Nia put her up for the Samoan drop, Asuka countered it into a submission move. That stuff is cool to me.
Yeah.
Seeing them go back and forth like that, I like that stuff. They put on a good match. That's why I like Nia. I think that she's got room to improve still, but I think she's.
There's nowhere to go but up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
really.
for sure.
And I think this isn't the last we've seen of the two of them.
And
I think we'll get it during the Royal Rumble. I think there's a lot to see there. There's a lot of room for that feud to go.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how it's going to play out, and I would like to see them square off in the Rumble too, about like just face to face, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, they're both going to be in it, so might as well, yeah. And it's good that they protected the both of them with the injury angle because, like,
That's the biggest thing.
yeah, because they definitely both are, like, the dominant female people on Raw.
Yeah.
So, one match we skipped, we'll get right into that one on Raw. It was Titus Worldwide. Titus Worldwide getting another victory. Titus Worldwide. Thank you, Alex. Getting another victory over Sheamus and Cesaro. This time, it was due to Jason Jordan came out, distracted the bar. Rollins was like, well, dude, what are you doing? You can't do that, whatever. But this puts Titus Worldwide in like a good conversation as a legitimate tag team on Raw.
You think so? You think
I
this
do.
does something for them?
Absolutely. And now both of them have been announced for the Rumble, Titus and Apollo. Mm-hmm. I think they're more than just like the comedy tag team. Now they're a legitimate threat. They beat Sheamus and Cesaro, 3-time tag team champions. They beat him twice, 2 weeks in a row, regardless of how it happened.
In comparison, they're not like a Breezango. They're like they're legitimate.
These are two guys. As over the past 2 weeks, they were a little bit, but now since these last 2 weeks, they got these legitimate wins. They're in the mix. They're in the conversation.
Because the Raw tag division is kind of lacking right now. Like that's the reason why they're pushing them. But it makes sense.
It doesn't even have to be. If you think about it, you have Rollins and Jason Jordan. You have The Bar. You have Gallows and Anderson, and Titus Worldwide.
And Revival coming back.
And the Revival. That's right. And the Revival. You throw them in the mix as well. You got a decent tag team division.
Yeah. And we had who got injured? Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy was injured. And, I mean, it's SmackDown. You could say SmackDown has the better tag division right now because there's so many.
Yeah, no,
it's more competitive over there.
On SmackDown, you got the Usos, the New Day, Benjamin and Gable.
Yeah.
Whoever you got, Breezango, Bludgeon Brothers, whatever it is, Rusev Day. For sure, they're leaps and bounds ahead of the Raw tag division, but the Raw tag division has so much promise.
Yeah.
And it's just putting all the pieces together.
And getting new blood in there, like Titus Worldwide. That's important. I mean, as much as I like to see Rollins take on Cesaro every week, I like to see a little new juice, worldwide, a little Dana Brooke, the statistician on the side.
I know you're a big fan of that. These last 2 weeks with Sheamus and Cesaro wrestling Titus Worldwide, it was the first time. I can't even remember how long it's been since we saw Sheamus or Cesaro wrestle someone outside of the Shield, almost, on Raw.
And now I know we're going to do predictions next week for the Rumble, but you given any chance to Sheamus and Cesaro against Rollins and Jason Jordan?
For sure.
All right. Now, to counter that, if they do win, say the Bar does win, we're in it for another month probably of the same storyline of Jason Jordan and Seth Rollins.
Well, I don't think so, because I think the minute they lose, the Mega Powers are exploding.
Like rematch the next
Rollins
night, they
and
lose again.
Jordan.
I don't think
so.
they get a rematch.
I think
Rollins
you
and
gotta
Jordan.
get a rematch.
No, they'll lose at the Rumble. They're not going to be teaming at that point. I think they're going to lose it. They're going to lose at the Rumble. They'll be in the Rumble and they'll fight each other. Rollins and Jason Jordan.
Guys,
and the tag team's over.
When a champion loses,
for sure,
they
get
their rematch. They're
going to
get a rematch,
but it's not going to mean anything because they're not going to win.
They're not going to want the rematch because they're not going to want it. They're not going to be working together. They're not going to be a tag team anymore. The minute they lose the titles, that night is the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
They'll both be in the Rumble. They'll square off, and that's that.
And they'll forget about the whole.
Rollins doesn't. Rollins
doesn't
like Jason Jordan
and then
anyway.
Jason Jordan back to the bottom of the.
I think it's going to be a good feud between Rollins and Jason Jordan.
I think that's your feud till WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Too easy for me. It's just too. It makes too much sense.
How about this one? I'll throw a. I can't even think of the word. But,
curveball?
I'll throw you a curveball. There you go. That's a good one. Wasn't what I was thinking of, but it worked. Circle change, if you will. Nonetheless, how about you get Fantasy Booking 101. You get Rollins and Jason Jordan up to Mania. Guess who's not happy with Seth Rollins beating up Jason Jordan?
I don't think he'll be ready.
I don't think he's going to be ready either. I think he's got a ways to go because he's
talking about Ambrose.
Yeah.
No. I'm not talking about.
We were talking about
Ambrose.
No,
we got each other.
I thought that's the match I want to see. Rollins and Ambrose. Nonetheless, who's not going to be happy with Seth Rollins beating up Jason Jordan every week?
Kurt Angle.
Who's to say we don't get Seth Rollins versus Kurt Angle at WrestleMania?
I'm not mad about that.
There you go. I got it.
You did not just come up with
I came up with that on the spot, I swear.
Code. Dude, that's it.
I came up with that on the spot. It just happened.
I'm not going to lie to you. I'm impressed.
Oh, wait, but hold on. I don't want to see Rollins injure Kurt Angle.
Stop it. Seth Rollins does not injure people. Freak accidents. How dare you?
This might be the third freak accident.
Let me ask you something. Since the last time Seth Rollins injured somebody, What has he done? He didn't injure anybody after that.
No, yeah, I know.
Freak
I know,
accidents. It
I
just
know,
happened to be
but
he
I'm
was
saying
in the.
This might be another freak accident.
Get out of here.
I'll tell you
Stop
one thing.
it.
If they do fight, there is 0% chance that Seth Rollins hits a curb stomp. on
Kurt Angle. Oh,
100%. There's no way.
No, Kurt,
And
please, Kurt.
I guess we're talking about Rollins. We might as well just get into that main event
Oh, all right,
of
yes.
Rollins versus Finn Balor. Seth Rollins winning with the curb stomp.
No,
I think
it's not called the curb
the
stomp
blackout,
anymore.
which first of all
They changed. Yeah.
First of all, I prefer. That's what it was called
I prefer
originally.
It
Oh,
called
I'm
the
sorry.
blackout.
Yeah,
It's
I
way
know.
more creative and it doesn't sound as violent. And
Curb stomp is super
it's just like
vulgar and
that's
violent.
like
Well, that's like Roman Reigns doing the drive-by kick. Like, are you kidding me? It's ridiculous.
That's Michael Cole's favorite. move.
Nonetheless, no,
Drive-by.
Michael Cole.
Or Uranagi. He loves that one too.
Either way.
he just loves Roman Reigns. I think that's what it is.
All right. Either way. I think-
good match.
Yeah, good match.
No,
It was a good
obviously,
match.
yeah.
And
I'll take those two fighting all the time.
Listen,
And
I
here's-
love Finn Balor. Like you
and
know
I
that.
think I love them both.
Yeah.
Seth is great, and I think he's been a little stale in the past couple weeks since Ambrose has been gone.
That's fair.
But the minute he hit the blackout, you could see it. Yeah, everybody and their mother was
that
like,
lost
"I'm
it.
all in on Seth Rollins."
lost
Why
it.
isn't Seth Rollins a Universal Champion? Seth Rollins is a main eventer.
Yeah.
He is, and with him bringing back the blackout full time, it just cements that.
Yeah, because what was his finisher? The knee.
The
The
knee.
knee.
Michael Cole
The
loves
knee.
that one
The
too.
knee.
That's not a finisher. That's like you're kicking somebody in the face with the knee. That's like everybody's like go-to move nowadays, especially if you look like Seth Rollins and you have that athletic build. Your go-to kick is going to be that knee to the face.
You're doing
Or
it.
some-
You're doing
some
the
sort
knee,
of
or you're
leg
doing
kick.
a super kick.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
one or
a
the
super
other.
kick.
Super kick. They honestly. All right. So Seth hits the. What's the name of it?
Blackout.
The
Blackout.
blackout, sorry, the
the
curb
curb
stomp, the
stomp. They
blackout.
called it the peace of mind for one for one Raw before the Shield split. Somebody called it the peace of mind. I think it was peace.
So maybe they
like
were thinking about it for a while to bring it back.
PIECE.
Okay. And
because
then this was just the time.
and then this was just let's do
It
it.
made
Balor,
sense.
Balor took some bumps in this match.
Oh yeah.
Did you
Some
see?
big hits?
So WWE released a slow motion
Slow-mo
video
of
of
the
the
curb
blackout,
stomp.
and he
Yeah,
blackout.
literally Finn Balor's head literally hits the mat.
And then even before that, Rollins hit him with a kick to the back of the head, and you could see Finn's face, like he really took a tough shot. I see the chemistry building between Rollins and Jordan. Even at the end of in the beginning, Rollins was a little mad, but at the end, they looked seriously like it looked like they were having fun out there together, celebrating that victory.
I agree with you. Could be, and I like that. In this one storyline of Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor, you have the Seth Rollins and Jason Jordan. Jason Jordan set up the mat. You have the club storyline now, the Balor Club storyline. Sheamus and Cesaro come out. You have all of these guys in the ring, and they're tied together in this same storyline. And that's how it should be.
Yeah.
You have all these guys, and again, it's tag
can go
teams,
in
it's
different
singles
directions.
guys, and the end of Raw
I was just gonna bring this up. Go.
when they kept the camera on Gallows Anderson and Finn Balor for a while.
What was that about?
I was so nervous that they were gonna turn on Finn Balor already.
Thank God they didn't.
And I was sitting there. I was like, cut to black, cut to black, cut to black, end the show.
You were waiting for something
And
to
like,
happen.
why else would they keep it on like that? And it just, like, I don't think there was any commentary.
There was no music.
I think there was no music. They were just sitting there. They were holding up Finn, and I was like, this is done already. 2 weeks and we're done. Thankfully, it didn't happen. What do you think about this, Andrew?
So I think that they want the crowd or the audience to get used to the club being on television and being in that main event scene. So they kept the camera on them longer.
To end the show.
To end the
you're
show.
saying. All right. I'm not against that.
And also, it does build the tension because if the club does turn on Finn, you could see it coming.
No, why?
I don't want to
because-
see that either.
But listen, if the Royal Rumble's a thing, right?
Yeah, it's definitely.
All three of them are going to be in the Rumble. So
Yeah.
if something happens where one of them turns in the other, you know why.
I'm not ready for
But
that.
I'm gonna say, I'm gonna get very technical here. If I'm Gallows or Anderson, I'm not even thinking about turning on Finn Balor because then I'm off TV.
This is the most action they've
Yeah,
gotten
like,
in months. These past 2 weeks.
Forget.
Kayfabe wise, yeah,
like,
it
come
doesn't
on.
make any sense.
Like,
Yeah.
don't just throw that word around here, all right? Relax. But he said the K word. But but why? Yeah, why would these? If they go back to trick or treat fights with pumpkins on their head, if they turn on Finn Balor, ridiculous.
They're so much better than that.
If Finn Balor is on his own, they're not even on TV. They're an afterthought, really. And we'll get into much more Raw, SmackDown as well. First, we're going to take a quick break. You're listening to the Phenomenal Forum here on WCWPSports.org.
You're listening to the Phenomenal Forum on WCWP Sports.
Welcome back to the Phenomenal Forum. A little blast from the past there. I'm Matt Weinstein here with Andrew Servideo and Alex Demiris each and every week for you on WCWPSports.org, iTunes, as well as YouTube. We got that camera back, Andrew. Merry Christmas. Almost at the end of January.
Too sweet.
So we'll see you guys there as well. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe wherever you're listening. Nonetheless, we'll finish up Raw. One guy who we're really missing out on is Samoa Joe. I know, Alex, he was your pick to win the Rumble.
This one hurts.
I wasn't disagreeing with you on that one. They said he's out of the Rumble, and they also said he was supposed to work a house show in March. Might have been at the Garden. I'm not sure where it was, against Cena. And they took him off that, too, because he's not going to be ready. This is a big blow for Samoa Joe.
That's what's really concerning. I could see the Rumble in 2 weeks. He's not going to be able to perform. To already cut him out of a house show in 2 months in March,
It's bad.
It's got to be something at least pretty serious, and I'm not even sure what the injury was.
I didn't hear anything either. All of a sudden, I just heard, hey, Samoa Joe's out, not going to be in the Rumble. It's tough because since he's been on the main roster, whenever he starts to get going, he gets a full head of steam and he gets hurt. Then he's in a big main event picture. He's a big force to be reckoned with. He gets hurt. And I hope when he comes back that they don't just see him as this guy. Oh, well, we're not going to really trust him with anything huge because who's to say he's going to be here in a couple weeks? He's going to get hurt again, something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hope this. I mean, it seems like it has become a trend, but I really hope that it's not a trend. I want to see him come back. I want to see him healthy. I want to see him make a Universal title run, because I think in the ring and on the mic, he's one of the best guys that they have going, and he's been picking up steam, and it sucks.
He's got one of the best promos on Raw for sure.
And it stinks that now a huge part of the Rumble and a guy that could have really won is just taken out of it. How do you replace a guy like that? I don't know.
It's a good question.
Yeah.
I really don't know how you replace a guy like Samoa Joe, but not talking about replacing, but talking about adding new talent. 4 new signings reported to the Performance Center the other day. It was Candice LeRae, the wife of Johnny Gargano.
Okay.
Tag team known as War Machine, as well as, quite frankly, one of, if not the greatest cruiserweights on the planet today, Ricochet.
I wouldn't even call him a cruiserweight either, to be honest, because he's like...
Well, he's under 205.
Yeah, but...
That they'll call him a cruiserweight.
Unfortunately.
I don't know much about him. Awesome name, though. We're getting too many of these, just regular name guys.
Yeah.
Ricochet.
Yeah.
Love that.
No, see, Ricochet is... insane. He's a sick wrestler.
It's funny. For whenever I had heard it, it just reminded me of the old cartoon Mucha Lucha with the guy with the
his name was Ricochet. Yeah.
Yeah, the kids and they were all luchadors. It was Ricochet, Buena Girl, and the Flea.
The Flea.
Yeah, and then I read something the other day. It says he based his character off of Ricochet. That's where he got the name.
I didn't even know that.
So, even if he wasn't that good, even if he, I didn't know much about him, I'd be like, oh, great name, great TV show.
Yeah.
I'm all on board. But it helps that he's one of the best workers in the world.
Excited to see what he's got.
Yeah, when we did the top 2017 show, he was one of my favorite matches.
Your matches,
year.
Right, with
Ospreay?
Ospreay?
Yeah, with Ospreay, yeah. Him and Ospreay are magic money. If Ospreay comes soon, which probably won't happen because he's the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion in Japan, if they do a match in WWE, it's going to be big money. But Ricochet coming to WWE is definitely a good get for WWE.
Now, before we...
I have a question.
Yeah, go.
Now, they say WWE signs these people. Now, this could mean SmackDown, Raw, or NXT, right? They didn't.
Yeah,
say.
they didn't
haven't
specifically
specified.
say
Okay.
it. But I think Ricochet did tweet out that it was something along the lines of NXT. So
I have a
if
feeling-
him and NXT is like I don't have a problem with.
I have
Because
a
on the main
feeling-
roster, I feel
right.
like they're not going to get used to him.
Okay.
I have a feeling all four of
Properly.
them will be in NXT.
Yeah.
Definitely Candice LeRae.
Yeah.
She was in the Mae Young Classic. I think she fits in well with the women down there in NXT to start, at least.
And she's with Gargano too.
Right, and Ricochet, he's an NXT main eventer. Put him in the ring with Almas, Gargano, Adam Cole, Aleister Black, whoever. And the same thing with War Machine. Throw them right in the tag team title picture.
Yeah.
You have guys like Authors of Pain, guys like Sanity. They fit in well.
They fit in perfectly, especially
And-
with I'll just spin.
And I just want to, on a side note, you mentioned Will Ospreay, the IWGP Junior Champion. He just wrestled last week. I believe it was in Progress in the UK. He wrestled
Pete Dunne.
Pete Dunne, the WWE United Kingdom
It's crazy.
champion. You have a WWE champion, you have a New Japan champion wrestling in a third company. This is ridiculous.
That's cool.
The time we're in,
Yeah.
the stuff that can happen just kind of out of the blue. But again, that brings me back to what I said last week, how hopefully the match between Jericho and Omega almost opens the doors to like more cross promotion
Yeah.
work.
Yeah.
Like
because-
that's okay to do.
It should be okay. I agree. I think having that match definitely broke a lot of definitely built a lot of bridges, especially for Vince McMahon, like his mentality on the other companies. It does put New Japan at a higher
like a-
pedestal.
Yeah, definitely.
I think it elevated them a little bit.
And Omega said, I think he was on Jericho's podcast after the
Oh, I
match.
gotta catch
Omega said, like, this wrestling world that we live in, it doesn't have to be company versus company. It doesn't have to be WWE versus New Japan. It can be WWE and New Japan, and every now and then they work together. They're not necessarily competing
Yeah.
against each other. I mean, WWE might think that
Yeah.
guys in the WWE office might think that, but you're another side of the world.
You're not reliving the Monday Night Wars anymore.
Right.
Especially in two different countries.
Yeah. So it's cool to see them, interchange and get in the ring with each other.
Yeah.
And I just hope to think all the guys who could come to WWE, could go to New Japan, just to think, and just as simple as Jericho Omega. Replace Jericho with anybody on the main roster right now in the WWE. Kenny Omega, Seth Rollins, Kenny Omega, Roman Reigns, Kenny Omega, Nakamura, John Cena, even Randy Orton.
Yeah.
The list goes on. AJ Styles. Yeah, forgot a good one. But
The best.
yeah, Owen, Zayn. I could be here for an hour
Yeah.
talking about all the guys I'd like to see Kenny Omega wrestle. Make it happen. WWE New Japan. I think, and if it happens, I'll say, we said it first. We were the guys who sparked it.
Put on the board.
Put it on the board. Yes.
We'll have a board next week, actually.
I like
Finally.
that.
Huge.
I like that.
Huge. So, now we'll get into SmackDown. Big, the U.S. title tournament, 3 matches. So the SmackDown was heavy on the U.S. title. Bobby Roode, the first match was Jinder. Jinder versus beat Xavier. I was not a fan of this match at all. Not because I wanted not because I wanted Xavier to win. Yeah, I did, but this was just a prototypical Jinder slow match. Just get the crowd against him, and this wasn't. And this kicked off the show. The first match on the card, I was like, is this what we're getting the rest of the tournament?
And
Yeah.
We spoke about this a little off the air. I just think that this was just to build up Jinder a little more for this what was going to be the main event match against Rude. I just think you needed him to be dominant in a match against a guy like Xavier Woods, and Woods held his own, I think, but just wasn't a fantastic match to start it.
Because Woods is good on his own, definitely. But I don't like Jinder. We've been through this so many times. I don't like Jinder. His style is not entertaining. It's just boring. I don't know.
I actually liked Jinder in this setting though.
No,
if
I
that
do
makes
too.
sense.
I agree.
I don't hate the fact that he was going up for the U.S. title, and I don't hate if we're gonna see Jinder Bobby Roode again, maybe down the line or something. As long as he quote unquote like stays in his lane. You know, don't try and do too much. Don't bury him. Just keep him
Right.
Keep him
I agree.
on course. That's all.
And now he's a former WWE champion.
Yeah.
So, like Xavier, like I was watching the match, I was like, Xavier's in the ring with the guy who was WWE champion 3 months ago. This is kind of ridiculous, right?
And that's another thing. How do you have Xavier beat that guy?
Yeah,
And then you can't take
Jinder
Jinder seriously after that.
Exactly.
I didn't even think about that.
So there's two ways for them to go with Jinder. They could either go with, oh, he's a former world champion, he's just as dominant as he was when he was champion, or he goes the Dolph Ziggler route, and whenever he gets beat, they say on commentary, he just beat a former world champion. Because that's basically what we've gotten out of Dolph Ziggler. Dolph Ziggler, the former world champion who lays down for everybody. Jinder could be the same. I hope not. I hope we get more of the former. But nonetheless, the next semifinal match was Bobby Roode versus Mojo Rawley. I was really impressed with Mojo in this match.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, and I liked Mojo's music. I liked his entrance. I like him getting down in the 3-point stance and running through people like he's on a football field and doing stuff like that. I mean, I like Mojo too. I thought that this is a good stepping stone for him. He didn't need to win this match. I think he's got some work to do.
No, just being in this match was more than enough.
Yeah.
For him to get to the semifinals of this tournament.
Mm-hmm.
And, everything about his in-ring work, the character. We've always known that Mojo Rawley, he's an entertaining guy. He has the charisma. But to see him put it all together, this is one of the first times I've really seen that from him. And this is the first time I'll ever say it. I want to see more from Mojo Rawley.
Maybe it's because he's a heel now. And
maybe that's all he needed.
He
just needed the fire under him.
Yeah, definitely. I agree.
He's being mean, and it's really
it's
working.
paying off.
I think the next step is changing the ring gear because that bright yellow is not a heel. Is not a heel thing. You know what I mean? I think if you change that to like a black or like a red, I think that'd be really cool.
Well, because he wears like the Maryland arm sleeves and stuff. He
Yeah,
went
yeah.
to the University of Maryland. He played football there, so like it matches, I guess.
But like, if you want to be a heel, don't wear bright yellow. Like, you know what I mean?
It matches.
It looks good. It is not an eyesore. So, we get to the finals. Bobby Roode, Jinder Mahal. We expected the match. First of all, we expected the match at the Rumble.
Yeah.
And then they announced a couple days before SmackDown that the finals would be next week. And then on SmackDown, how about we do this right now? Daniel Bryan came out and said, okay.
Because I didn't even see that they announced it, that it would be, that the title match would be next week.
They
on
had
SmackDown.
changed it. They had taken it off the Rumble.
First it was on the Rumble.
Yes.
Then
Right.
it was on
But,
next
we were
SmackDown.
going to have 35 matches at the Rumble.
Because
We
I
went over
remember
that.
Matt last week was like, yeah, they moved it off the Rumble. It's going to be on SmackDown.
It was supposed to be the day after Raw 25.
Right, it's going to be the day after Raw
All right.
25.
So so I'm watching SmackDown, and I'm like, what's going on here? We're getting all these U.S. Tournament matches tonight, and it was a pleasant surprise. It made SmackDown like legitimate. It made it really, appointment television.
I agree. And before we get into the match, my only issue was that your top storyline on SmackDown, AJ versus Sami and KO, was an afterthought.
Yeah.
AJ cut a not great backstage promo in the interview with Renee Young.
Mm-hmm.
Sami and KO weren't even on TV. They got the night off.
Yeah, they just ran like a little video clip of what had
They
been
said,
leading
here,
up.
if you just, in case you don't remember, here's these two guys, by the way.
But
they're great. They're at the top of the card, but they're not going to be here.
you know what?
But they got the night
I'm not mad at that. I think, every now and then some of them need the night off, or some of them, don't have to be on TV. Like, there's other guys to put on TV, especially with the 2-hour time slot. SmackDown has the lesser programming. I think if you take some of the main event guys and don't put them on, it doesn't hurt the product. It just, you're missing out on using those people properly. But then again, they do need a break every now and then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I agree, but I feel like they could have cut a backstage segment. They could have done a backstage segment. They
Well,
could
yeah, I mean,
they
AJ
could have cut a
did.
promo.
AJ did, but it was
Kevin and Sami.
heavily
They could have
scripted.
responded,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
To just have them not on TV at all, it rubbed me the wrong way.
Going back to your point, I like the idea that give some of your top talent a breather to get other guys more involved.
Yeah.
But we didn't really even see that because we got two guys that were already in a match that night in another match at
Exactly,
the end of
because
the
you know
night.
who else wasn't on this card?
That's correct.
Randy
Yeah.
Orton, Nakamura,
Yeah.
Baron Corbin, the
Haven't
Usos.
seen Corbin in weeks.
Usos and Benjamin and Gable, they had a quick backstage segment when Benjamin and Gable beat them up. It was
really only about the
no
US
Rusev
title.
Day. There was no Rusev Ray in English. They weren't on the card. Just
Another
And I
backstage
think
thing.
that is why they moved the U.S. title match to Tuesday instead of next week, because next week they're going to focus on the main storylines going into the Rumble.
yeah,
I think
'cause
that's
the
what. I
go-home
think
Rumble
that's
show.
what
Look, I'm not upset with it because it was good what they did, but
Yeah.
it was just.
I mean, you had like guys like Mojo
There
Rawley
were
get
so
a
many guys, right? But there were
a spot in
so
the
many
in
other
the-
guys, and it made sense for Nakamura. He was wrestling in the mixed match challenge right after, which we'll get into. But for me, it just rubbed me the wrong way a little bit. But the Bobby Roode Jinder Mahal match, I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was the best match of the night.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got Bobby Roode as U.S. champion. What do you guys think? Right before we get to break.
I mean, in a word,
Glorious.
glorious.
Oh,
glorious.
yeah, glorious. Yeah.
He
I'm
said
happy.
good.
I'm happy.
No, I like it.
No, I'm happy he won. I liked the whole like holding his rib cage. He was beat up from the match before. Oh my God, Bobby Roode is proving everybody wrong. He was hurt earlier, and now he's fighting Jinder. And then the Singh brothers were banned from ringside. So at that point, you really knew that Roode was gonna win the title.
Yeah, no, I expected him to win the title the whole time.
Yeah,
but,
from the beginning, he did, yeah.
But yeah, these two guys, Bobby Roode is a better guy for Jinder to work with than Xavier Woods because Jinder Mahal with Xavier didn't do anything.
Yeah.
But with Bobby Roode, it was back and forth. I liked it.
It was more of a competitive
Solid.
feel.
I liked
for
the
sure.
match. I liked how Jinder was working the rib angle, and then I liked the ending, how Jinder was setting him up for the finisher, Roode counters,
Reversing the DDT,
glorious
yeah.
DDT.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Count to
match
100.
over.
Match is over. So we'll get into the rest of the week right after this final break. You're listening to the Phenomenal Forum here on WCWPsports.org.
You're listening to the Phenomenal Forum on WCWP Sports.
Welcome back to the Phenomenal Forum. Matt Weinstein, Andrew Video, and Alex Demirs for you each and every week on WCWPsports.org, iTunes, YouTube, you name it, we're there, unless it's not one of those three. So we'll get into the last thing I want to talk about on SmackDown. The Riot Squad beats Charlotte, Naomi, and Becky Lynch. It was Liv Morgan got the pin on Naomi. Just a quick yes or no. Did this match sell you on the Riot Squad?
No.
No from Alex. No from Andrew, and a no from me. Look at that.
Did they need the win? Yeah.
Yeah, without
They
a
did.
doubt. Because what have they done?
Exactly.
They beat up Becky and Naomi the first day, and that was it.
Yeah.
I'm sold on Ruby Riott without a doubt. I was the minute she got up, but Liv Morgan and Sarah Logan do very little.
I'm more sold on Liv Morgan than I am on the other one. Whatever her name. I don't even know her name.
Sarah Logan.
There
There
you
you
go.
go.
Oh,
Sarah,
man.
Irrelevant,
Sarah
dude.
Logan.
She's not good.
Should we even talk about those promos?
Oh, those Royal Rumble promos,
Yeah,
like the little little Snapchat videos, whatever they were doing.
5 to 10 seconds. Oh, man.
Whoever it was, the women, the men, they were all terrible.
I mean,
I think it was something different.
Yeah, it was something different. It was something bad. It wasn't good. They tried
Some of them were
they
better
tried
than
something out.
others.
by
They were
default,
all
some of
bad.
them had to be better than
I
others.
can't-
Some of
I don't
them were
like the
brutal.
way they showed it. I feel like they could have showed it in a better way.
Oh,
I
it's-
feel like the way they showed it was like this one, this one,
One
this
after
one,
and they
this
had
one.
the name popped up. It was like
It should be more sporadic
Orton.
throughout the like.
And then Orton talks, and whatever the Randy Orton thing, the Randy Orton one was ridiculous.
in
Yeah.
the middle of the empty
He was
arena.
like-
I think
ring.
if they put like the
whatever it
name,
is, I love chaos. I was like, Randy Orton, what are you doing?
if they just like put the name underneath the person or like, and then just like instead of having them one after another, have them sporadically throughout the show.
Yeah.
I
Or
think that
guess
would've been
what?
way
Or
better.
guess what? Instead of the whole name thing, we know who these people are.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, to put Randy Orton for 5 seconds before Orton starts talking, like, we know who Randy Orton is.
Mm-hmm.
He's a 10, 11-time world champion, something like that. 12, maybe, I don't know.
I think 13, maybe 4.
I don't know.
Carry-
It's
it's on the board.
23-time world champion. Regardless, like, we know who Randy Orton is.
Yeah.
We know who Baron Corbin is. We know who these people are. Naomi, Becky Lynch, whoever it was. Why are you wasting all this time putting the nameplate there? It was weird.
Now, one that was funny, I thought it was Nakamura because they definitely got him right after a live event match. His chest is still red from getting chopped,
Yeah,
probably.
yeah,
he's,
yeah.
he's like,
sweaty.
he's dripping, he's
Yeah.
sweating, he's breathing heavy, and then, let's rumble. It's like, I like that one. That one I thought was funny.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm not sold on the Riot Squad. I think if they don't perform big in the Royal Rumble, they're all but done.
Which I think they could. I think they could make
like
some
the
noise
pack
in the
mentality,
Rumble.
3-on-1.
Maybe then
team
the two of
team
them
up.
get thrown out. Ruby Riott maybe in there like the Final Four or something like that. Maybe I could see happening.
I'd like to see that.
And
I
then
think that's worth it.
It puts her over a little, and then just by default it brings the other two up with her a little
Right.
bit. So I mean, it wasn't a great match. It didn't, like you said, it didn't sell us more on the Riott squad. But maybe a stepping stone, I guess. I mean, I'm just trying to. Looking at the glass half full here.
I really don't know what they were thinking when they did this women's rumble because they.
Well, they want
it
to make
must have been
history.
like-
They love making history.
Right, but I think it was like a last minute decision kind of because you saw they brought these two teams in here. It's not the correct way to do it. I think if they would have brought them in like one by one, I think it would have been a lot better. The way that they did this, it was like two different factions almost, like they did the first time when they did the first like Divas Revolution or whatever.
Women's.
I feel like
Revolution.
whatever. I feel like
Sky.
I feel like they didn't learn from their mistakes, and they did the same thing over and over again, and it just doesn't work. Don't do it.
I mean, they definitely did the same thing over and over again when both of these teams came up a month ago, whatever it
Right,
was.
but now Paige is out.
It stinks.
Awful. Hate to see it, but now they are a little bit different now. Now it's the 3 and it's the 2, the 2 new women, not divas. Andrew,
Sorry.
come on. I bet if they were in Japan, you know what they were called. But
That's why we're not on the network.
yeah. So, but Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose now. It'll be interesting to see where they go. It looks like Paige is still gonna at least manage them. She's
Yeah,
still
she was
there, which
there.
I like.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see what they do in the Rumble.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So now we'll get into the first episode of the Mixed Match Challenge Tuesday night. First off, which made 205 Live just a half-hour show, which I'm upset about. I usually go back and watch 205 Live. It's some of the best booked TV they have.
Okay.
But
That's a hot take.
yeah, it's huge. Anyway, Finn Balor and Sasha Banks, they won the first match against Nakamura and Natalya. I wasn't a big fan.
The match itself wasn't great. Seeing Finn in the ring with Shinsuke is cool, obviously.
That was my only takeaway.
Okay. But other than that, they showed the viewers in the top right. I don't think it got higher than like 130,000 people. Not a great showing, honestly.
And also, it was only in the United States. So people were complaining from other countries that
Why?
like they couldn't watch it.
Yeah,
Well,
why?
the UK they put it a couple hours after on the network. I think that's what it was.
It actually is on the net. When I was watching
yeah.
NXT last night, it is on the network.
they put it on the
now.
network
They put it on
afterwards.
afterwards. Yeah.
All right, it's like a go back and watch. That's not
Yeah,
that bad.
I guess so. But yeah, it lacked the juice. Maybe it'll get better as some teams start getting eliminated. And
I
it was the
think-
first one.
Yeah, it was the first one, and it was after a long SmackDown too. Like it
That's
was 2 hours.
they
of
need to do
SmackDown.
it on a separate day, but it's harder to do that because you have to set everything up. You have to have everybody in the town to do
Yeah,
that.
you're right. You already have the people in the arena.
And my issue is that it's 12 weeks, one match a week. So I tuned in for it. I watched the one match, and they said, all right, good night, everybody. I was like, what?
Mm-hmm.
And it said, like, you go back, watch the Cruiserweight Classic or the Mae Young Classic, they had 4 matches an episode. And that, I'm not saying do that, do 2 or 3. And so first of all,
Yeah, even 2. Give me 2.
do 2 matches. It's not anything crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, for me, hopefully it gets better from here. I hope
Yeah,
so.
I think it has to.
Well, yeah, that's a good point. So I think next week is Big E and Carmella versus. Oh, who are they wrestling?
They announced it.
Yeah.
Huh.
Who are they wrestling again on Raw? It's not Nia, Jackson, Apollo. It's not Braun. I have no idea.
We are so prepared.
We are not good at this. I'm gonna Google it.
Well,
While I'm Googling it,
honestly though, I do like Carmella with the New Day kind of like those promos.
Oh,
Are
I
actually
love it.
pretty
Yeah,
funny.
yeah.
Right?
I love
with
it.
the pancakes, and then they open. I don't even know if they open a locker or what they open, and Carmella is just chilling inside there with their briefcase. They start their chants and stuff like that. So I actually like them as a team together.
I do too.
Again, we forget that she has the briefcase. Though.
Oh my goodness.
I forgot.
I got a hot take for you next week.
Before the hot take?
No, next week I'm giving
Before the hot take? Oh, okay, that's fine. They're wrestling Miz and Asuka.
Oh, that's what it is. Okay.
It's Miz and Asuka versus Big E and Carmella.
So Big E and Carmella are out next week.
Yeah, without a doubt.
But actually, then we're going to have 2 Raw teams advancing.
Yeah, I feel like they
so
should.
maybe Big E and Carmella get the upset or something.
See, but
it's too
is it
predictable.
much of an upset? Because you just said, oh, it would make sense if the SmackDown team won, so maybe it
Yeah,
would be an
I
upset.
feel like it's too predictable if they do it like that.
I think it'll just be the Raw versus Raw.
So really, I'm just tongue twisting myself over here. I don't even know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
and whenever Braun and Alexa wrestle, they'll win too. So there's your third Raw team. So who knows?
Should I give the hot take now? I don't want the people to wait.
I don't want to wait.
Yeah,
All
go
right.
ahead.
What if? Because there's no women's
There's
title
no women's
match, right?
title match at the Rumble.
Give me the cash in. Carmella wins. Charlotte in the Rumble wins the Rumble.
Wait, when is she cashing in?
Some point through the night in the
I-
locker room.
I-
Hit her with a chair. Get a ref in there.
I don't
something.
think the champions are in the Royal Rumble.
No, he's saying
I'm
during
saying
the Rumble.
During the Rumble.
Yeah.
Before that. Oh, actually, but then we think the women's Rumble match is going to be first.
It
Then
doesn't make sense. It would have to be like on SmackDown.
my hot take just went.
If I like it, I'd much rather.
When
see,
is she going to cash this in?
I'd much rather see. Hopefully before June, otherwise it's gone. But I would like to see Charlotte in the Rumble without a doubt. But yeah, she's a champion.
I know.
It doesn't really work like that. I would have liked to see a couple weeks ago, or even last week, this week, whatever it is. Carmella just comes in and says, "Hey, you know what? I remember I have this."
Hey, I still yeah.
Yeah.
This is still a thing, guys.
So anyway, your hot take,
It was cold. It was really cold.
not the best. Anyway, we'll move it on to NXT.
Let me erase it off the board.
All right, no problem. So NXT, Johnny Gargano is set to defend his number 1 contendership next week against the Velveteen Dream. It's going to be Velveteen Dream's first match since TakeOver War Games. He was hurt. He's back. Next week, Gargano, Velveteen Dream.
Go. Come on. That's your boy. That's your boy.
I'm very excited.
We know you love
very,
Velveteen.
Very excited for this match. It's gonna be really good.
And so now, the TakeOver Philadelphia card, as it stands, NXT title match Andrade Cien Almas versus either Gargano or Velveteen Dream. We have the Authors of Pain beat the Street Profits in a number 1 contender match, so they're wrestling the Authors of Pain versus the Undisputed Era, Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly. And Adam Cole is wrestling Aleister Black in an Extreme Rules match.
It's setting up to be an awesome.
It's going to be another great card.
Yeah.
And again, we look at this card and we're like, whatever. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be NXT. It's gonna be a good card.
Yeah.
And then it's
And
gonna
then the show happens and we're
it's gonna
like,
be
this
through
is
the
like
roof.
this is crazy.
It's gonna be
and
a
then
good one.
the other match is Ember Moon versus Shayna Baszler.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a good chance we get Roderick Strong versus Lawrence Sullivan as well.
That's setting up to be an awesome card. Any chance that something happens and then we end up getting a triple threat match for the NXT Championship with Velveteen and Gargano and Cien? Or no, or just Gargano's
think it
going
should
to
be
be
Gargano.
I think
Just
it'll be-
Gargano's going to beat
Yeah.
Velveteen. You think?
It'll be one of the two. It's not going to be a triple threat, I
All
don't
right.
think.
I'm just. Hey, this is what I'm here for.
No, for sure. And it hurts that NXT is taped, so I know the answer. But we're not going to get
I actually
it.
don't. I haven't looked at the whoever.
Already, you know it.
Yeah, I knew it like 3 weeks ago. They tape them 4 weeks in advance.
Yeah, I actually haven't looked at it, so I'm with you.
And I'm
Devon.
just
I don't
good.
know.
Yeah, I don't look at
I
that.
And I'm
honestly
I
just
don't look at that stuff.
and
I'm
I'm
a
just
fan.
and I'm just the worst type of person. Like if
Oh.
I see it, I read it. But if I don't see it,
All right.
I
Don't ruin it for our.
No, I
listeners.
know.
See, I don't watch.
I would
read-
love to not know, but
I don't
if
read
I
NXT tapings because I feel like that ruins NXT for
But
me.
if
'cause I love
see,
NXT.
if I
Yeah.
see it, well, I read them and watch anyway. Because also
Oh.
4 weeks ago, I forget.
You're a loser.
I forget. Yeah. Anyway,
But I am excited for just Velveteen Gargano.
for sure, without a doubt.
That's yeah. So
So that'll do it for Raw, SmackDown, NXT. And now, a few minutes left. We'll get into this Monday, Raw 25. All of these legends confirmed for the show. What do you hope to see at it? Like, what are just some segments you think might happen, some you hope happen?
So
What do you see going on?
there's so many legends, right? And
so many.
And I'm thinking like, it's the go home show for Royal Rumble. Why do they have so many? And then it hit me because yesterday I was watching the X-Pac podcast.
Oh, yeah.
And he had Scott Hall on his show.
I was gonna bring this up.
And Scott Hall said WWE texted him and said, "Bring your ring gear."
Oh boy.
So here's what I'm thinking: they're gonna have a Legends Royal Rumble on Raw.
Oh,
Get
wow.
out of here.
I didn't even think of that.
I really think that's
I just
what's
think
gonna
Scott
happen.
Hall will lace up the boots and
Yeah.
hit somebody with the razor's edge. I don't know.
Which would be awesome.
I think it's gonna be a Legends
He'll
Royal
hit
Rumble.
like Heath
then
Slater
what?
with
And
the
then
razor's
who?
edge.
What is the winner?
Listen, I don't know.
They get in the regular Rumble.
They don't.
That's just too
I don't
much.
know.
That's just
They get
too
in the Hall of
much.
Fame.
That would just
They
be.
get in the Hall
that
of
would just
Fame.
be too.
Wow,
that would
Andrew.
just be too crazy.
Listen,
Legends
I
Rumble.
really think it's gonna
There's
happen.
not 30 of them.
I think there's a lot of
There
them.
might be.
There might
There's
be.
a lot of them.
There might be.
There's a lot of
But
them.
all right, so that's what you. Here's what I think.
That was wild.
That's your. That's what
I can't think of why do they have so many? Why did they book so many?
I'll tell.
I can't think of
all right,
anything
well, I'll
else.
tell you. Here's the answer for your Scott Hall question. Rhino is like, hey Heath, I'm gonna make you tough again. I'm gonna make you. We're gonna continue
Oh,
this.
don't even tell
And
me.
remember what happened at Raw 1000 when Heath Slater just took a bump for all the legends? They're gonna do the same exact thing.
No. Don't even tell me
Don't-
that we're wasting Scott Hall getting a text from WWE, bring your ring gear, because he's going to go beat up on Heath Slater now.
Well, not just Scott Hall, everyone else.
No.
Who knows? I'll tell you what my number one hope for this, and it's so funny that like it's not even a guy that we haven't seen in years that we want to. It's Chris Jericho, confirmed, and it's not like I haven't. I want to see a Chris Jericho match.
The
on Raw.
pop he's gonna get when that music hits is gonna be nuts.
I want to see a Chris
It's gonna
Jericho
be
match on Raw. It's
insane.
not like he's got any ring rust. He wrestled 2 weeks ago against Kenny Omega.
I don't think he's gonna wrestle.
I would love to see a Chris Jericho match.
That would
don't
be
know.
great. I would obviously, we're all Jerichoholics.
For sure.
What I want, I don't want to be let down.
Yeah.
Because they are hyping this
They're hyping this up.
so much, and for so long we've been hearing about this show, and then the leaks just keep coming that this guy's gonna be here, Stone Cold is coming, and everybody else. Please don't let me down.
I feel like
Please,
I feel like
just make a good show. It doesn't have to be over the top. I don't need a.
I want another Raw 1000 is what I want.
Okay, yes,
I want something similar to Raw 1000.
that's fine.
I feel like Stone Cold will have a legitimate segment. Everybody else, and Jericho as well, like everyone else will kind of just get thrown in. DX will do their thing.
I'm telling
The
you, it's
women
gonna
that
be a
are
I
Royal
think
Rumble.
all of the women, maybe with the exception of Trish Stratus, all of the women are going to be in a quick backstage segment, and that's the end of it. In a
And some of
perfect,
them-
in a perfect world, it's with like Santino Marella.
I think some of
Well,
them are gonna say like, "Oh, we're gonna be participating in the Rumble."
Yeah.
Yeah, or
I
something
think-
happens where they get in a fight with somebody, and
I
then
think-
we hear them in the rumble.
I think we see Trish maybe in the ring
Jacqueline.
to take. Well, no, I'm like talking about on
Tori
Raw.
Wilson.
Oh,
Maybe we see Trish get in the ring, cut a promo with with Sasha, with
That'd be cool.
I don't know whoever, Alexa Bliss maybe.
Oh, I would like that.
That'd be cool actually.
That
I just thought of that
that
off the
I
top of my
like.
head too. I really like that.
There's a lot of fantasy booking you could do
Oh,
here.
huge.
I would like to see Kurt Angle face to face with somebody
Probably
with-
Stone Cold.
with like
Ooh.
the thought that it could happen down the line. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
Well,
Kurt
that's
Angle
Triple H.
With okay.
Yeah,
Kurt
but
Angle,
like again, I think we're gonna see that Seth Rollins Kurt Angle thing because that
That's
really
huge.
makes a lot of sense.
You
and I
guys
can
heard
see
it
that
here
happening.
first.
I want to see.
Vince is listening.
I want to see Kurt like tension with somebody else, and then like they don't sell it, but enough for us to think, wow, Kurt against this guy might happen, and it might be awesome.
I got two more. I got one. I want to see the build to John Cena versus Undertaker.
Yeah, that'll definitely happen.
It's
Why else would
I'll
Undertaker
be
be there?
glued to the TV when the two of them are on screen.
Yeah.
And this one's more of a question. If anybody, who do you see Braun Strowman interacting with out of the legends?
Triple H.
Oh yeah.
Maybe Stone Cold.
Duh.
Maybe Stone Cold
That would be
because
cool.
there's a lot of similarities between the two.
How about Kevin Nash?
Oh,
Kevin-
he's not
Kevin
gonna
Nash
be
is
there.
not gonna be there.
He tweeted
He had
out that
hip
he's
surgery or
Yeah,
something.
his knee surgery.
Knee surgery.
He's not gonna be there.
This is why we have our chat. This is why we have our chat. So
You
I
don't
don't
know-
come on here and look stupid in front of the people.
No. Sound stupid.
Sound
Radio,
stupid.
no big deal. Yeah, he announced it was
All right,
gonna be there.
that stinks.
Yeah.
He had a lot going on anyway, though. Magic Mike and stuff.
I'm not. Yeah,
That's
I'm
right.
Not,
Yeah.
I'm not totally bummed out that he's not going to be there, to be
Yeah,
honest
but
with
you know,
We
you
could have
see
had a full
Scott Hall.
NWO return. That was the whole thing. But
Ah,
just Scott Hall is fine. I'm fine with the
100%.
hey yo.
Scott
that's
Hall.
it.
Scott
Hey,
That's
Hall.
all I
yo.
need.
Yeah, and then you got, all the DX, Triple H, Shawn Michaels, X-Pac, New Age Outlaws.
Yeah, keep going. Who else? Undertaker. We
Undertaker.
Know, Stone Cold.
Maybe we get like a segment with like the Click and the club, like in backstage. And like,
Okay.
Ooh, that'd be cool.
That would be cool.
How about MVP?
Yes,
Is gonna be there.
yes.
I don't know what he's gonna do. You know what?
I'm telling you, it's gonna be a rumble. I think it's gonna be a rumble.
I hope that MVP has some sort of conversation on screen with Matt Hardy.
Okay.
Why? Because they had
'cause
that feud back
they
then.
were tag team champs.
The basketball thing.
And they had all these competitions. They were drinking beer. They were eating wings or whatever it was. They were doing They were shooting baskets. They were throwing touchdowns. They were doing push-ups. Whatever it was. If MVP and Matt Hardy come face to face, I'll lose my mind.
If we were to get a Rumble,
Which I don't think we will.
I don't think we will
I
either.
really think we're going to.
Then we're going from getting one Rumble a year to 3 Rumbles in 6 days.
I think it's okay. So hold
And
on.
hold on.
I'll specify.
Before
I'll
that,
specify.
before you specify, here's the deal. The issue is that most of these guys can't wrestle anymore, and they won't get cleared
right,
by the WWE.
Right. No, I think it's gonna be the guys that can. It'll be a smaller rumble.
All 3 of them.
I don't know about 3.
like
I think
a
there's more
battle
than that.
royal or something.
Yeah, or something or battle royal. Like, just to give us like that. Like I think they're
I
gonna.
don't think so. I think you're gonna get Heath Slater.
I really
and
hope not.
Kurt Hawkins.
JBL and Ron Simmons will be there too. I just thought of them.
and
the APA.
JR and
JR and Jim
Lawler.
Ross. They're doing
So many people got announced.
JR,
It's crazy.
Well, no, JR and Jerry Lawler are doing commentary the first hour. I heard.
I thought they were at Manhattan Center the whole night.
And they're going to be doing commentary the first. I don't know.
I don't know.
Something like that. So we'll wrap it up. Final thoughts. Raw 25. Anything else?
Give me something cool and give me some of the SmackDown people coming on Raw as
That's
well.
what I want to see.
There-
I want to see the New Day there.
They confirmed it that there's gonna be some of them there.
I wanna see
AJ.
Randy
I want
Orton.
to see the New Day. I want to see AJ.
New Day and AJ. Are
Everybody
definitely
else is a
confirmed. I don't
bonus.
remember the other ones,
How
but
about
yeah,
Randy Orton?
I don't remember.
Such a big part of.
Yeah.
Get Randy Orton in the ring with John Cena.
Get Randy Orton in the ring with
Little stare down.
Triple H.
Ooh, ooh, ooh. Is Ric Flair going to be there?
Is Batista gonna
Yes,
be there?
Ric Flair will be there.
Ric Flair will be there.
Batista-
I was thinking Batista.
Batista
too.
went on Edge and Christian's podcast. He says he's not gonna be there.
But did he say he's not gonna be at the Rumble?
No, but he said he's not gonna be at Raw 25. But
Okay.
he might be in the Rumble.
Here
I
we
really
go,
think he's
here
gonna
we
be in the
go.
Rumble.
Keep listening to the show. You're going to get disappointed. All these fantasy bookings. Here we go. All right. So it has been another week of the Phenomenal Forum. Catch us next week. After Raw 25, we'll give you our Royal Rumble predictions. We'll give you NXT TakeOver predictions. So, nonetheless,
Packed show
packed.
next week.
Packed. Packed.
Yeah, we'll have Mike Licata in the studio.
Michael
as well.
Licata,
Yes.
Yeah,
friend
he'll
of the
be in
show, will be on. He'll be in attendance with Andrew at Raw 25.
We will not.
We will not. We will be in attendance. I will be in attendance in my living room.
And
So
I will also maybe be in your living room.
it's a good chance. Not
For the Royal Rumble, I think I'm gonna have a bunch of guys over. I think
And
we're gonna-
fans of the podcast.
Yeah,
fans, but
definitely,
yeah,
Alright.
subscribe, like and subscribe. You get whatever you want. So, Phenomenal Forum, another show in the books. Matt Weinstein here with Angels Video, Alex Demirs, each and every week. WCWPsports.org, iTunes, YouTube. See y'all later.